let's begin our webinar on green space with a wonderful quote. The quote is that nature always wears the colors of the spirit. To start a new chapter of learning, I, Nikita Bunkar, being the host of today's webinar, wants to extend a extend a warm greeting and good evening to you all. I hope you all are doing amazing. So as we know that green space is basically areas with lots of plants and trees like parks and gardens where people can enjoy, play, and relax. And green space can also have environmental benefits like helping to absorb carbon dioxide and reduce heat in urban areas and support biodiversity by providing habitats to plants and wildlife. And green space are essential for promoting physical and mental health and enhancing the aesthetic in urban areas. And on the behalf of SEMS family, I welcome you all to this international webinar on green space. Now I am going to introduce today's guest of honor and our speaker, Mr. Vansaj Raj Bahal. Mr. Vansaj Raj Bahal, born in Varanasi, India, and brought up in New Delhi, India. At the present time, he is working as a project manager in Bhumija, and he is a founder or director of CHRC Design and Build, and he has worked as a senior engineer in Manoma of Engineers, and before this, he has done his post graduation diploma in construction and real estate management and graduated. And now he is a certified BIM, Building Information Modeling Manager, who is experienced in the field of construction and real estate more than 8 years. And he has been part of 75 plus projects in which includes residential, commercial stores, and warehouses and hospital or airport projects. So it's a great honor to have you with us, sir.
Hi, thank you, Vijay Siksham, for giving me this opportunity to for this session, and thank you, Abhishek, for calling me in. Hello, everyone. I am Vansharaj Behel. Thank you, Nikita Bunkar, for introduction.
Thank you, sir.
So, guys, today's topic is about green spaces. Like, basically, the main idea and behind this topic is to like we into turnkey design and build solutions for residential and different spaces. So, we came up with an idea to do it in a greener way. So, we are planning, and we are working on projects in which we have added architecture with modern green age planting. So today's presentation will carry a different type sort of agenda. Firstly, I will tell you about a space, like what all spaces are there, what is a space, and a small after that a small introduction to green spaces, like what are green spaces and is the importance of green spaces right now. And because as we know, there's too much of pollution in like cities like Delhi NCR, and there is too much of pollution right now. So we should also take a part in carrying on, give a part in helping the nature to it come to its back point. So need of the hour, they will include like what all, why do we need these green spaces? Next, then will be how we can contribute, like how we as an individual can contribute in towards giving one step towards nature. The other is then we'll have a summary of a things, like what all things we are doing and what all things we can do later on to play our part. Because as per my thinking, we are using the resources from earth, so we should give it back in some way or the other way. So yes, we'll start with the presentation. Firstly, what I will talk about space, like what is a space. A space can be defined by single surrounding around an individual. It can be anything, a road, a bedroom, their personal office, their personal spaces like offices or commercial spaces, or where they are spending their quality time and where they are living, from where they are having their livelihood as well. So yeah, there are different types of spaces available, such as like residential spaces, which includes like houses, personal houses, villas, apartments. We have a group when we have a group of societies, a group of apartments in a particular space. That is, we call an apartment or a societies. The other types of spaces are industrial spaces, which includes like factories and warehouses. We all know like every big organization have their own warehouse systems and factories where they manufacture goods and also store their goods. So they need a space. They use a lot of space, so, which we can think we can develop in a greener way as well. The other is educational spaces. We have spaces like schools, colleges, and tuition centers where we send our children to study and to grow and to learn what for their better future. Institutional spaces. Institutional spaces are like hospitals and training places or training spaces where you can think that where the person, where an individual is going to learn and to also practice those things which they have learned in their during their schoolhood and their during their professional courses in which they are joining in. The next are assembly spaces. Assembly spaces could be like theaters, auditoriums, museums, cinema halls where we go and get together, different individuals come together as groups and we attend a particular event or an exhibition, or we are attending a watching a movie in a cinema hall. The others are business spaces, which includes offices, hotels, malls. We know offices. We need offices to for our regular working and to earn livelihood. We all most of us go to our offices for on a daily basis, and we spend off most of our time over there as well. So we need to think in a greener way as well for them as well. Hotels and malls. We mostly are on a vacation or a trip whenever we are going for a trip or vacation or whatever space we are staying in. We should know that we should have we look for a good space which is hygienic, which is clean and good for us to stay. Malls are the basic necessities these days from where we buy our daily regular stuffs, clothes and apparels or anything. The other is mercantile spaces. The mercantile spaces comes to like which like are stores, commercial stores, retail stores, general stores. These are the basic shops, or we can say the small or group of small shops where we find retailing options that are called mercantile spaces. The last type of spaces are called storage spaces, which could be cold storage or garages, where we repair our cars, spaces like garages and cold storage spaces, where we store our wheat. Most important farming things are stores over there, like different medical equipments. There are cold storage for medical equipments, medical medicines, and everything, etc. Now we'll have a small introduction to green spaces. As the name suggests, green spaces can be any space which has a combination of flora and fauna and or developed any developing areas like parks, homes, offices, roads, hospital, etc. So कोई भी space पे when we add up elements of flora and fauna in any space, so we can call it a green space. Green spaces are like our natural health services or children's and elders outdoor classrooms and towns green love. The more the green spaces we have, the more betterment for the like we'll have fresh air to breathe. We'll have a healthy lifestyle. Also, green spaces really matter because they aren't just the spaces like where kids go, like in a park. We send our kids in a park to play and everything. So a neighbor takes their dog for a walk. So green spaces are like the most important spaces, like where we can lead a safe, happy, healthy, and active lives. So why do we need green spaces? So green spaces plays different roles and at different for a different aspect for different individual. Green spaces play their very important part. First, that is breathing spaces. We get fresh air to breathe. We have lots of plants around us. When we have a lots of good plants, like there are different types of plants that are nearby for us, and they provide us with the breathing spaces. Healthy spaces is like the green spaces are one of the most healthy spaces, which includes like we whenever you go to park in the morning or the evening, you always feel refreshed and you're energetic and you can work pretty well as well. Yeah, and you get good healthy lifestyle as well, good health as well. For like living spaces, it when we like do greenery work for in our like in our backyards or in our front yard or in our indoor houses, so it also acts as a creative spaces and attractive spaces, but it also has health benefits for us, where which is way in which it is benefiting it in the two ways as well. We are getting the attractive spaces as well, and we are getting the healthy spaces as well when we plant trees along front yard, backyard, or in the indoor houses as well. Meeting spaces. When we go for a meeting, or whenever we are in a hotel, or whenever we are in a mall or something, when we see a green part over the green section part. So it is the part which again it is attractive and again healthy for like anyone passing around. They get a fresh breathe, fresh smell of soil. You can say that. Play spaces where more the greener the grass is, the kids will be easy to play. They will not get hurt while falling down. Like you can see on cemented tracks, on cemented things, they fall and they hurt themselves. Working spaces. Whenever we go with the green spaces and involve it in working spaces, so it also increases the productivity of your employees, your staff, yourself. Whenever you have a plant around you, you're getting the fresh air to breathe, and also your air is also pure. So yeah, green spaces play a very important part in working spaces as well. Learning spaces, same your students, your childrens are visiting, spending their most of the time in school, so they need also section of green spaces over there as well. Wild spaces, it is a simple basic thing. Whenever we go on an adventure track or adventure vacation along the hills, when we see greenery, we are amazed and pleased by the beauty. So yeah, green spaces also play a very important role in wild spaces as well. We should procure and we should save our wild spaces as much as we can do. Celebration spaces. So yes, plants beautify the space in a very beautiful way when we also add up the lights to it. So yeah, we can use it at celebration spaces as well, like for a marriage event or for any event exhibitions we are having happening in a lawn, or even if we are happening in a banquet. So we can have for indoor banquets, we can have indoor plants which carries on their own beauty. Creative spaces and for growing spaces as well. So yeah, green spaces plays different role in different spaces. So yeah, they help us in the final terms. They help us with the beauty part for the for your space, as well as the healthy part for your space. Your space, the green space on your doorstep. How will you contribute? Now, how we discuss about how we can contribute while we are concentrating to move it in a greener way for our society and for our upcoming future. Firstly, we have a small comparison like regular space with regular space without green spaces and regular space with green spaces. So there's a small comparison. Then we can see that how will be contributing to it. First, like I will discuss about regular space without green spaces. More, there are consequences what we may or might suffer in future if we go with the regular spaces without green spaces. The first is more prone to falling sick and respiratory disease among elders and children of the family. If you are staying in a 2 BHK or a 3 BHK flat with your elder parents in there, and you have children as well, we know how much amount of pollutions we right now we have in our surroundings. So they feel dizziness, they feel lazy, dizziness whole day, and they also have some problems like regularly breathing problems as well. So we have the lower oxygen availability percentage around the premises. If we don't have any green plants or any park around our society, so we have a lower oxygen availability as well, which we don't consider in a regular life, but it plays a part in our regular life. Lower productivity rates of workmen or employees working in an office, factory, or at homes. If we compare between a regular space without green space and a regular working space with green space, so productivity of workmen is around 10 to 20% more than the normal with space without green spaces. We might not find green spaces for like breathing fresh air, breathing spaces for children and elders. We see that whenever we are staying in a metropolitan city, we try to go on to places which are like mountains or some hill stations, so that we can have a fresh breathe or fresh air for your elders and for your children. So why can't we have it in our space as well? So that's a basic thing why we should promote green space. Also, when we don't have plants around us, so there are number of toxic gases which stays in the surroundings as well, which as they are not getting absorbed by the anything. They are in the surrounding, and we are breathing that toxic air. So it is also a cause. If it also causes our health problems as well. Now, when we have a regular space with green space, if we have a set of plants or a set of trees around us, and a green space around us, we have a 24 hours availability of oxygen as well for inside and outside spaces as well. Less chances to getting prone to any respiratory disease. I'm not saying that if we have a green space, we have indoor plants and we have outdoor plants, we'll have not have any respiratory disease. But will also, it will help you to reduce the effects or create the percentage chances to reduce the respiratory disease or problems in the family members. The other is higher productivity rates of workmen and employees working in a factory or offices, also at home. As I said earlier, if we have plants, we get fresh air to breathe. We have no pollution around us. There are projects in happening in Delhi. There's one office. If we say that the pollution level outside the office is around 200 AQI, and inside the office is 100, is less than 100, because they have implemented it in a greener way. They have implemented different sections of plants at different sections of, like in fall ceiling they have plants, they have plants, they have plants on their roof system where they have like outdoor units for their ACs to reduce the effects of oxygen. So the uh, toxic gases in the environment. So yeah, there are people who are doing it in India as well, who are like working towards it, towards sustainable projects. I have worked on like somewhere around 10 to 15 sustainable projects in Gurgaon and Delhi NCR with different architects. There's one architect, Sanjay Prakash. He is like one of the best architect in India, in Delhi, and from Hoskas. So he has done so many green spaces. I have worked under him as well for some projects. Like other is fresh environment and positive aura in the spaces, and spaces to breathe properly with absence of toxic gases and presence of plants and trees among us. What happens? There are certain set of plants called succulent plants, which these plants absorb the pollutions around you, and these plants survives on the pollution as well. They absorbs the pollution around us and shares the best for bad, clears the air for us. Green spaces also act as a barrier to heat waves and floodings and make spaces healthy and cool for living. As we said, more the greener we have, the more cool spaces we have, more like we have shadow to protect from the sun rays, heavy sun rays, UV rays. Plants, trees help us as well. So next is how we can contribute. So we should plant at least one tree every, what I have thought, like what is my process, like we should plant at least one tree every year and two plants every month, so that we can contribute in any part. For example, we are using our resources from the earth. Like we are using petrol for our daily week, for our vehicles to daily travel from one place to another, or so we are taking something from the our mother earth. So we should return it in another way. So we should start planting at least one tree every year and two plants every month. We collaborate with individual amount around ourselves to create and clean available green spaces present near to us. For example, if we see a fall space or a empty space around us, we can have a small organization, small like group of people which you can initiate the group, and you can call the members to plant trees around your surrounding. So it will help you in the long run as well. Planting indoor and outdoor plants at your home and working spaces for a healthy and happy lifestyle. So when we discuss, we are pretty much confused, like what we should do, what indoor plant we should have, what we have to take care of the maintenance, we have to take care of the plants. Like there are certain things when we go for a planting, we have mindful of thoughts while going for a plant shopping or for either indoor and outdoor plants. So there are certain set of plants which we can discuss in details in the Q&A session. So like indoor plants, like there is snake plants, there are ficus, there are syngonium, there are rubber plants. These plants act as an air purifier for your complete room. If we have these sort of plants, depending upon the sunlight we have to water them. Like low maintenance. These are low maintenance plant which need a certain amount of water every week or every alternate days. The other is encourage others to adapt green spaces for our children's future and healthy lifestyle. We should encourage one another person to move your life the greener way, to move to plant as much as tree or as much as plants they can do in and play their part in helping our mother earth to get clean and pollution free. So next we are going to discuss about sustainable design practice. Like I have told many things about green spaces. I have told like what we should do when it comes to green spaces. We should plant trees. There with planting trees, we have different set of principles which we follow to make any space a green space. For example, what we'll do, if I am going to a space, I will firstly prepare the layout for the space, like what all as per the requirement. For example, if we discuss about a normal residential house or a residential house for a like high end for a G plus 2 floor. So what we do, we plan a complete layout for them, like what all sections will be covered under the civil works and what all sections will be the open areas. We decide that in the layout practice, which we where we closely closed area and the open area. We do after that we plan for different for when it comes to sustainable design practices. We firstly we also plan wastewater management. So there's one Dr. Snehal Patel. She has she has their work, she has their residential project in which the whole residence is not using the electricity from the board and not using the water, regular supply water. They are reusing their water supply from their plants. They are recycling their water in the for the complete house. They do. For example, they are recycling the waste generated from the kitchen to give the plants to give the water to the plants, and they also have a natural water body to clean the plants. So we can have a different set of systems when it comes to wastewater management, in which we are segregating the waste from the building, and plan out the complete wastewater management for them. In terms of air management, we have planned an open green spaces around any space. So we have a different number of plants which act as a natural barrier for the pollution. Also, they act as an purifier. On third thing they do, like they plan for like plants for the cooling as well. There are projects where we don't use AC as well. We don't need AC because these plants are playing a role to keep the building as cold from the inside, and how hot whatever the temperature it is outside. So plants also play this role in creating the your residence cool from the inside and pollution free from the inside. For light energy management, we use glass work in the elevation, and we mostly use natural sunlights and for cutouts, so that we have a different amount of sunlight coming inside our house as well at a different set of plants at a different set of times. In this way, we do light energy management. In the during night times, we also plan for solar plants, so that we use the light generated from the UV rays, sun rays as well only. Hygiene and safety plays a very important part in terms of sustainable design practices. What happens, like all the wastewater we are separating it to a natural water body to our plants, and all the solid waste from the building is going to another pit for which gets clean and which can be used for the future soil working as well. Other is pollution free environment. Whatever, like in terms of civil works, whenever we are working on a structural part for any building, so we go for eco friendly products now. Right now, as government and also the engineering department has created different set of like there's a replacement for a brickwork. So more we use brick, we need a cement, and use of cement creates extracts carbon dioxide in the surroundings. So we have an option, we have a replacement of cement as well. So there are different set of advancement happening in the society, happening in the construction industry, which is contributing and playing their parts in terms of maintenance of green spaces as well. So it comes to a pollution free environment. I think there are few questions, and with the like Anvesha Gupta asking, sir, how can we make a green space green? How we can make a space green? We can make a space green by like implementing different set of practices. Like for example, if we are in a bedroom, so in a bedroom we have a certain sunlight coming in for us. So accordingly, we plan a green space for we plan a different set of plants for your indoor houses and for your balcony as well. So we can add to a plant part as well, and the other parts to make it a green space. There is wastewater management, air management, light energy management, hygiene and safety, and these are the parts which we consider to make it a green space. So yes, thank you. We can discuss the question and answer sessions. Yes, we can also make our industrial area a green space. Like, for example, in an industrial area, we have a huge or variety of a big amount of space available with us. So we can have a set of things like we have workers working for us. So we can have an environment for them where where they can develop like for example their washrooms. We can have the wastewater management for the washrooms in the place over there. We can add green plants around the surrounding in the open areas we have. So we can have hanging plants so that it helps you we can develop industrial space into a bit of green space. We can contribute our part into a green space.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Say some of construction people use fully wooden types of construction. No, cactus plant using a cactus plant doesn't like generate water circulation inside. Cactus plants like these are plants which act as a beauty, and also like these are like bit of they provide oxygen. They provide you oxygen most of the time.
Yeah, okay, thank you, sir.
Some people keeps aloe vera plants too at the balcony. Few more like spider plants, water lily also. Yeah, these are the plants like aloe vera plants is like one of the plant which is the most important, which plays the most important play in a air purifier way. It is a very low maintenance plant. It doesn't need water on regular basis. You can like water them like in a week or a weekly basis as well. So aloe vera is one of the plant which is like a very low maintenance plant, and it is helping you by providing the complete fresh air for you as well. So yes, aloe vera is mostly recommended for indoor spaces, and for spider plants and water lily, yes, spider plants is also like act as succulent plant mostly. So they absorb pollution, and they also like purifies the air in terms of these are the plants which we use and also act as a decorative for your home. We have a spider plant at our TV cabinet or around surrounding the around our sofa. So it looks good as well as a decorative point of view, but it also purifies the air for you as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Narinder Singh ji is saying there's a huge gap in the implementation level in terms of policy making as well as participation of the local community before they can actively participate in contributing to a green area. Actually, Narinder Singh ji, it is very true. Like people doesn't understand like the importance of green spaces. We like for like they think for like it's not happening, it's not causing you or affecting you in a shorter span. It's a longer like when it comes to green spaces or non-green spaces, it affects on a longer run. So they don't accept it. Like right now, people are so concentrate or so focused about their personal things or personal professional life that they don't consider about these things. Like they think like it will happen. It will happen on its own. It will happen good. So yeah.
So I hope everyone got their answers.
How about how the bamboo plant mostly act as a decorative plant only, so they don't act like the decorative plant and a basic plant. They don't like they don't provide you oxygen. They provide you oxygen during the daytime. They don't provide you oxygen during the nighttime. For example, there's a snake plant or a Chinese whisper or a rubber plant. These plants provide you oxygen during the nighttime as well. So bamboo plant is act as a decorative plant and providing a basic amount of oxygen what they are extracting during the daytime. Ferns are good decorative options, but mostly they should be kept in like a more to a sunlight area and in for outdoor balconies as well. And ferns for like there are different set of ferns which also works inside as well. So yeah, sorry. Given to increasing impact of climate change, Trisha, there is like it's all like main focus. Like what is it? The company which I have found. That is the way to get started, is to quit talking and begin doing. So yes, thank you, DJ Saksham, for giving the opportunity. Thank you, Abhishek. Thank you, Nikita. And thank you, audience, for listening me out. And thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving your precious time and your sharing your experience and knowledge with us. And it was very useful for everyone. And thank you so much for all this and for attending today's webinar. And if you have any additional queries, then you can contact us by mail or telephone. We will happy to resolve your queries and provide additional support to you. And please follow us on our social media handles and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more learning and information.